Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into Paralogic.com's episode number 8.
Episode number 8.
Yeah, which covers some of the latest in tech and crypto.
Right.
So think of this as your cheat sheet to some of the latest news.
Yeah.
But remember, this is just a quick overview and may not cover every detail.
Yeah. Always best to go deeper.
Exactly.
Form your own opinions.
Exactly. As always, do your own research before making any investment decisions.
That's right. We're just here to highlight some of the key takeaways.
Exactly. Let's kick things off with a cybersecurity story that really got my eye.
Okay.
It involves those D-Link, DSL 674OC modems.
Uh-huh.
Seems like they have some critical vulnerabilities.
Right.
And D-Link isn't planning to patch them.
That's a concerning situation, especially considering it affects around 60,000 users.
Wow.
These vulnerabilities essentially leave these users open to cyber attack.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, 60,000 users.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people potentially at risk.
It is.
So what does this mean for someone who might have one of these modems sitting at home?
Well, I think it really underscores the importance of being aware of the devices we use and their security status.
Yeah.
In this case, if you're one of those users, replacing the modem might be the safest course of action.
Yeah, that makes sense.
However, it does kind of bring up a bigger question.
Like that.
What is the responsibility of tech companies when it comes to supporting older devices?
That's a really good point.
You know?
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just hardware that needs attention.
Right.
Microsoft is also raising flags about a vulnerability in their Exchange server.
Oh, yeah.
This one allows attackers to spoof legitimate emails, potentially gaining access to sensitive information.
Yes, and it's not just about individual users.
Right.
This vulnerability could impact businesses and organizations, potentially leading to data breaches and financial losses.
So what can people do to protect themselves?
Make sure you've applied the latest security updates.
Great advice. Now let's jump into the world of crypto.
Okay.
The FDIC recently reported that cryptocurrency adoption is higher among underbanked households in the U.S.
Interesting.
It makes you wonder
if
this is because they lack access to traditional banking services, or if they're drawn to the potential benefits of decentralized finance.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this?
It's likely a combination of factors.
Okay.
On one hand, crypto offers an alternative for those who may face barriers to traditional banking.
I see.
On the other hand, there's a growing awareness of the potential benefits of decentralized finance.
Like what?
Like faster transactions and lower fees.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but it's certainly a trend worth watching.
Absolutely. And speaking of trends, the Cardano Foundation just published their 2023 Insights Report, which outlines their spending and financial strategy.
Right.
A hefty $23.7 million.
That's a significant investment.
Yeah.
And it signals Cardano's commitment to growing their ecosystem.
Wow.
It'll be interesting to see how these funds are used and what kind of impact they have on Cardano's development.
Yeah. Are they focusing on improving scalability?
Right.
Enhancing security? Fostering new partnerships?
All of the above, perhaps?
This investment could be a game changer for Cardano.
It could be.
Now that's what I call putting your money where your mouth is.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Genius Group, an AI company, has made a bold move by adopting Bitcoin as their primary treasury asset.
Okay.
And get this, their shares jumped by 50% after the announcement.
This is a fascinating development.
Huh.
Could this be a sign of growing acceptance of Bitcoin as a legitimate store of value, even among established companies?
That's a good question.
If other companies follow suit, we might see a significant shift in how corporations manage their finances.
It seems like Bitcoin is slowly but surely making its way into the mainstream. And speaking of mainstream, did you see that stablecoin supply surge by $5.4 billion after the U.S. election?
I did.
It makes you wonder if investors are looking for a safe haven amidst all the uncertainty.
Stablecoins are often seen as a less volatile option within the crypto market.
Okay.
So it's possible investors were seeking stability during a potentially turbulent time.
Yeah.
It's definitely a data point worth noting.
For sure.
And could indicate a growing interest in stablecoins as a hedge against market volatility.
Now let's shift gears and talk about some of the cybersecurity concerns highlighted in Paralogic.com's episode.
Okay.
One story that really stood out was about a GIGA token investor who lost a staggering $6 million in a phishing scam.
Wow.
What's concerning is that it all started with a simple fake Zoom link.
It's a stark reminder that even seasoned investors can fall victim to sophisticated phishing attacks.
Yeah.
In this case, the hacker used the fake link to steal the investor's credentials, install malware, and drain their crypto wallets. It highlights the importance of being cautious about clicking on links, especially when they involve financial transactions.
Yeah, it really does make you think, how easy it is to fall victim to these things.
So are there any red flags that people should look out for?
Yeah, absolutely. Always double-check the URLs of websites.
Okay.
Especially when dealing with financial transactions. Look for misspellings or anything that seems off.
Right.
Be wary of unsolicited messages or emails asking for personal information or login credentials. And if something feels too good to be true, it probably is.
That's good advice, and unfortunately, it's not just individual investors who are being targeted.
Right.
Paralogic.com also reported on North Korean hackers developing malware specifically designed to target cryptocurrency users on macOS.
Yeah, this is particularly alarming because this malware is designed to bypass Apple's security measures.
Oh, wow.
Which raises concerns about the vulnerability of macOS users.
So even with those security measures in place, it seems like there's always a new threat emerging. Exactly. Cybersecurity is a constant cat-and-mouse game as security measures improve. Hackers are always looking for new ways to exploit vulnerabilities.
It's a little unsettling to think about.
It is.
Clearly, staying informed and vigilant is crucial in this constantly evolving landscape.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about vulnerabilities and scams.
Right.
But what about the regulatory side of things? Paralogic.com mentioned that Canary Capital is trying to get SEC approval for a spot HPAR ETF.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this development?
Well, for those unfamiliar, a spot ETF would allow investors to buy and sell HBAR directly on a regulated exchange.
Yeah, right.
Making it more accessible to a wider range of investors, think of it like buying a stock.
Gotcha.
It's a simpler and potentially safer way to invest in HBAR compared to navigating the complexities of cryptocurrency exchanges.
So this could be a game changer for HPAR.
Potentially.
And maybe even the wider crypto market if it gets approved.
However, the SEC has been cautious about approving spot Bitcoin ETFs in the past. So it remains to be seen how they will approach this application.
Yeah, the regulatory landscape is definitely one to keep an eye on.
For sure.
Now let's take a moment to acknowledge the human side of technology.
Okay.
Sadly, Elwood Edwards, the voice behind AOL's iconic "You've Got Mail" notification, has passed away at the age of 74.
It's a poignant reminder that behind all the technological advancements are real people who shape our experiences.
Yeah.
His voice was a defining sound of the early internet for many.
Absolutely.
And his contribution, though seemingly small, had a huge impact on how we interacted with technology.
It's a legacy that will be remembered by millions.
It will.
And speaking of the human impact, another story that resonated with me was about a crypto trader who tragically lost $26 million due to a complicated transaction process on the blockchain.
This unfortunate incident highlights the need for improved user experience in the blockchain space.
Yeah.
While the technology itself is powerful, the current user interface can be daunting, even for experienced users. Simplifying the transaction process and making it more intuitive is essential to prevent such costly errors from happening in the future.
It's a stark reminder that technology needs to be accessible and user-friendly. Especially when dealing with something as important as financial transactions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a tough lesson to learn.
It is.
So as we wrap up our dive into Paralogic.com's episode number 8, what are some key takeaways that our listeners should remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is the importance of being informed and staying vigilant, whether it's understanding security vulnerabilities, being cautious of phishing scams, or advocating for a better user experience in blockchain transactions. Knowledge truly is power.
Well said, and remember, the world of technology and finance is constantly changing.
Right.
What holds true today might be outdated tomorrow.
Exactly.
So keep learning, stay curious, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Absolutely. Curiosity is key in this fast-paced world.
So what stood out to you the most from this episode? Anything that sparked your curiosity or left you pondering some deeper questions?
I'm particularly intrigued by the Cardano Foundation's investment. $23.7 million is a lot of fuel for innovation.
Yeah.
What will they prioritize? What new developments will emerge? It's a story I'll be following closely.
Me too. And I'm also curious to see how the regulatory landscape for crypto continues to evolve.
Right.
Especially with that Canary Capital Spot HBAR ETF application in the mix. Could this be the turning point for wider crypto adoption?
It's certainly a possibility, and on a more personal note, the passing of Elwood Edwards really struck a chord with me.
Yeah,
It's a reminder that even the smallest contributions can have a lasting impact on the world.
absolutely. His voice will always be a symbol of the early internet era.
It will.
Well, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today, from cyber threats to the evolving world of crypto and the human stories behind it all.
We have.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially in these rapidly changing times. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay informed.
Until next time, stay curious.